Hello and welcome back to another video. Now let me make it quite clear that I do not actually get paid to make these review videos. However, Jackery have sent me this Jackery Explorer 2000 Pro completely free of charge, and because I don't get paid to make these videos, it gives me the freedom to say whatever I like about these products, and that's why I don't accept payment from Jackery or any other company for that matter. However, when Jackery first emailed me and offered to send me the Jackery Explorer 2000 Pro, I was like, nah, do I really want to do another video about a power pack? As I continued to read that email, they went on to say also send me two Jackery Solar Saga solar panels, and that is what hooked me, because I do actually need more solar panels to charge the batteries in my van, and Rebecca also could do with a solar panel for her van as well. So I thought, well, if they're going to send me two of these huge solar panels, I can't really say no. So that's why I'm making this video today. So here we are. These are the Jackery Solar Saga 200. They're 200 watts, 18 volts, foldable solar panels. I reckon they probably weigh a good 5 kilos each, I'm guessing. Right, let's unfold it. Don't think I'm going to be able to unfold it inside my van. I'm going to actually have to go outside, although it is quite windy, so I apologise in advance for any wind noise on my microphone. Nice case. Detachable cables, I rather like that. Not very long though. The cable goes into here. That's what it looks like in there. Don't know if it's waterproof. $341 watts, not bad, especially as it's winter. But there you go, it's giving me an impressive 345 watts from those two panels, which isn't bad considering it is actually winter. And it's saying here at this rate it will take just over 5 hours to charge it. Bearing in mind it is right down at 20%. So I'm going to leave this on charge for a little while before we actually take it in the van and put it through its paces. Now something's just occurred to me. I'm wondering if I can charge it using the alternator and solar at the same time, allowing me to install the Jackery in a more permanent fashion inside my van. Let's try that out now. So here we are, the Jackery is on my front seat. I've got one solar panel plugged in, so it's giving me 161 watts from the sun. Let's switch on the engine of my van, because I've got the AC adapter plugged into my cigarette lighter socket down there. I'll turn the engine on and see what happens. Will this increase or will it not? Only one way to find out. This wouldn't go out so quick. Well, it's got 161 watts. Not sure if you can see that. Start her up. What's it doing? I can't see. It's coming up. Input 0. Ah. Wonder what's gone wrong there then. So there you are, that answers that question. You can't charge it from both sources at the same time. It's completely crapped itself. Let's unplug the alternator. Let's see what happens. There you go, I've unplugged that. So I've unplugged the cigarette lighter and it started taking charge from the solar panel again. So let's go ahead and plug this back in to my alternator. Input 0. Let's unplug the solar panel. Hang on. That's the solar panel. Unplug that. See what happens. Input 0. How strange. Take it out of that one, plug it in the other one. What am I doing wrong here? Oh, look at that. Oh, here we go, it started. 98, oh, 60, 65 watts. 94 watts. That's disappointing. It's a shame you can't use both together. Let's plug that. Well, there you go. I've put the Jackery SolarSaga 200 solar panels away. Now I've brought them in because I want to test the Jackery and see what it can actually run in my van. Now before I put this away, just a couple of things I want to say about it. They work incredibly well. I was impressed, especially in such conditions where the sun is really low in the sky. After all, it is November and the sun doesn't really get that high in the sky. So for these to put out 175 watts on average, not bad at all. However, one thing I don't like about the solar panels, well, not the solar panels themselves, is the lead. I don't understand why Jackery have to insist on using their own plug. Why can't they use MC4 connectors? But on the flip side, I do like the fact that you can actually unplug it from the solar panel. Makes it a lot easier to put the solar panels away with no lead trailing. So yeah, I like the fact you can unplug it from the solar panel. Don't like the fact that they don't come with MC4 connectors. Maybe there's an adapter, I don't know, we'll have to look into that. But anyway, let's put this panel away and then we'll take a look at what the Jackery can actually run in my van, and most importantly, can it run all the electrics in my van from that 12 volt 10 amp outlet. Right, let's get this put away and we'll plug the Jackery in and see what it can do. Now I forgot to show you the state of charge. It actually managed to get up to 34%. And I only had it plugged into those solar panels for just over an hour, so that's not bad really. And it did say under those conditions it would only take 4.7 hours to charge the Jackery fully. So I'm quite impressed that you could actually charge this in a day, even in the month of November, using those two solar panels. Absolutely brilliant. One thing I've got to do now is actually plug this into 240 volt and see what it draws when it's plugged into 240 volt. So let's do that right now by simply using the cable provided. We'll plug that into the back and plug it into my 240 volt supply up here. 726 watts, and according to this it will take 2.3 hours to charge plugged into the mains. That is really fast. That's not bad at all. It's gone up to 705 watts now. Let's see if it can actually power my entire camper van. Right, I'm going to need to unplug that first. Okay, so now the moment of truth. Will the Jackery power my entire habitation area in my camper van via my main fuse board? I have connected this cigarette lighter socket. So theoretically, by plugging this cigarette lighter socket into the Jackery, it will power my entire van. But before I plug that in, I need to disconnect my power pack that is actually running my van. Let's just go to the app. So it's going to get really dark in here. There we go. So that's it. Everything is, the power pack is now switched off. My battery is disconnected. So now I'm going to plug this in via the 12 volt socket. And if I press this on, it should theoretically turn everything on in my van. Oh no. Oh, there you go. Everything is now switched on, and it says it's drawing 18 watts. But how many volts is it giving out? Let me just turn my meter on. I've got a meter on the side here. My meter is telling me it's giving off 12.9 volts. Not bad. But what happens when the fridge kicks in? You can see my special lights have gone off. Let's just turn those back on. I have to turn those on manually. So there you are. I'm going to open my fridge. So the Jackery is running my fridge right now, and it's drawing, yeah, look at that now, it's drawing 80 watts. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to wait for my fridge to cut off, wait for that to come down in temperature, and then I'm going to turn on my heater and see what happens then. Will the Jackery run a diesel heater? This is the big question. Not only run the diesel heater, but run the diesel heater with all my lights on as well. My fridge is cut out. It says it's now drawing 40 watts. 40 watts sounds a lot, but that's only 3.3 amps as far as being 12 volts, and my voltmeter has gone back up to 12.6 volts. So let's go ahead, switch on my diesel heater, see what happens. This could be interesting. Right, diesel heater's on. This should go up significantly in a minute now. Let's keep an eye on it. 81 watts, 104, 105, 101. It's still going. 96. By Jove. Oh, 128. 124. So that's all. 132. That's over 10 amps. And the lights have gone down. It's down to 6.8 volts. I'm afraid Jackery is not going to run a diesel heater. Not with that. It's gone back up again. Voltmeter is back at 12.6. I think my diesel heater might just kicked out. Yep. There you go. Look at that. It's caused an error code on my diesel heater. If I can get that in the right angle. Yeah. So there you go. You cannot use a Jackery, well this one anyway, to power a diesel heater. That is disappointing. Very disappointed. Okay, so that's the 12 volt outlet sorted out. So you can run a fridge, but you can't run a diesel heater off this huge power pack. That is really disappointing. I mean, look at the size of this thing. It's got a huge battery in it as well, but they really overlooked the fact that the 12 volt outlet drops right down to 6 volts. Never mind, let's see what the inverter can do. Now my induction cooktop is probably the most power hungry item in my van, so I'm going to go straight in, jump straight into the deep end, plug this into the Jackery, which I already have done, and then see if the Jackery can run my Leisure-Wise portable induction cooktop. Now the nice thing about this cooktop is that I can turn down the wattage that it draws. So the Jackery is rated at 2200 watts. It's a pure sine wave inverter. So I'm going to switch it on now and see what happens. Can I turn this up to full power? When I first switch it on, it starts off at 1200 watts. Let me just bring the camera up so you can actually see what it's doing as well. Should be able to just see that if I get it at the right angle. We'll turn the power up. There you go, 2000 watts. That's that making a noise, not the Jackery. And it says on here that it's drawing 1800 watts. It's coping, it's coping. That's the first time I've ever turned this induction cooktop up to 2000 watts. I've never had to before. So let's see what happens. Will it boil the kettle? Well, there you are, the inverter works perfectly fine. Little Monty there, look, snoring away. Well, he was, I think I've just woken him up. He doesn't look very happy, does he? He's not impressed. Oh, there you go. That's how quick it is to boil a kettle in here. If you haven't got an induction cooktop, highly recommend this one. From Leisure-Wise. Sorry. I'll make myself coffee in a minute. So you can run an induction cooktop with your Jackery. Although you can't run a diesel heater. You know, it can put out all that power, and yet they've really overlooked the 12 volt outlet. So frustrating. Now the other question is it actually a pure sine wave inverter? And the surefire way to find that out is to plug a laptop into it, because I know for sure that my laptop does not like modified sine wave inverters. It simply won't run with it. So we'll try that out by plugging the charger into there and simply plugging this into my laptop. We've got an orange light. Will my laptop actually operate? There you go. The cursor's moving. When I plug this laptop into a cheaper inverter, the cursor just would not move. I couldn't move it across the screen. As you can see, it's working perfectly fine. There you go. It's all working good. Yeah, it's working. There's my storefront for Amazon. In every video I'll put a link to my Amazon storefront in the description box of every video, so if you're interested in anything you see inside my camper van, you will more than likely find that item in my Amazon storefront. And I do earn a little bit of commission, so thank you to everyone that shops in my Amazon storefront. Doesn't cost you any extra, but I do earn a tiny little bit of commission, and every little tiny purchase, it all adds up, and it does help me out immensely. Right, back to the Jackery. Okay, so that's the inverter sorted out. We know that works, that's all good. Let's see about these USB ports. Let's plug my laptop into one of those as well. So the USB port is working, laptop's still working, everything's still going good. It's all doing what it should. Brilliant. Let's unplug it into the next one, make sure that one works. Yep, I've got an orange light on my charger and it's all working. So there you go, that's that done. So that works perfectly fine, and it is drawing 60 watts, 59 watts. So it's drawing 60 watts for my laptop from the 100 watt maximum USB-C outlet. So that works. What about USB-A phone charger? Let's charge my phone up, shall we? Let's see if that works. Yep, straight away, that's come on. There you go. So the phone's charging up. And it's now drawing 66 watts. After all, phones don't really take a lot. So there you go, folks, that's the Jackery Explorer 200 Pro and the SolarSaga 200 solar panels. Now I think this would be a great backup system, so I'm going to keep this in my van at all times and use it just as a backup power pack. The solar panels, I shall keep one of those for myself and the other one I shall give to Rebecca for her camper van. And if you're interested in getting your hands on a Jackery, or you want more information, then I will leave a link in the description of this video purely for your convenience. Thanks for watching, I'll see you very soon. Ta-ra for now.